What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and we are Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there.
Waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya. Complication.
So, when introducing Alicia to a board game, I had one thing I have to take into consideration is making sure that she enjoys the theme. It doesn't matter how great, how puzzly the board game is, or how great the board game is. If she does not enjoy the theme, she's not going to get into it. And so far, it's been hit and miss.
So it's he knows me well enough to know whether a theme is going to be a no or a yes for me. So that's not where it's the miss. Some games have a theme, but then they're not very thematic. And
Right.
sometimes that disconnect I find annoying. So,
And she lets me know. So, so today we're going to talk about some of our favorite board games that we consider to be highly thematic.
exactly.
Okay, so now before we go into that, like define. I think you define what makes a board game thematic for you.
Okay. So what makes a board game thematic for me is, does the art, do the components represent that activity, hobby, area, topic, whatever? Another thing that I really look at is, when you're playing the game, do the actions that you take in the game imitate what you would actually do in real life if you were doing this activity, hobby, what have you? And finally, how immersed, how caught up do you find yourself being in this world that this game creates?
Yeah, how much does it pull you in?
How much does it pull you in?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now I agree with the later, like, if when you're doing something in the game, does it make sense to what the theme of the game is?
Yes.
Does it, or are you just doing it just to be doing it? And I agree with that. So you ready? Let's go get right
Yes.
into this.
Yes.
Okay. So this is thematically inclined. No. No. Okay. So I get to go first?
Sure.
All right. So the first game I thought about when we was coming up with this topic, that I thought about the one that you said was really heavy on your heaviest list.
Yes.
And that was Robinson Crusoe.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Now, Robinson Crusoe, the whole purpose of this game, we are cooperatively stranded on the island.
And we trying to survive and get off.
Right. To signal the ship. And we got to eat. We got to find shelter. We got to just make our way through it.
But before you can eat, you got to hunt for the food. Before you can hunt for the food, you got to make the implement to hunt for the animal. Before you can do that, you got to go gather the material. So,
And not only do you have to hunt for the implement to make the thing to hunt the food,
yes.
you got to make sure you make something that could stop you from being hunted.
Yes, you got to make sure you don't become the prey.
Right. So
yes, and you got to worry about the weather.
Yeah.
So everything that requires survival, you come against in this game.
Right, because there is no Home Depot, there is no Kroger. Kroger's our local grocery store, but I think everybody know Home Depot. Ain't none of that on the island.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So you just got to figure out how to survive. This game was hard.
Yes.
We did survive once.
Yes.
I'm glad, but that's my first choice.
Okay. So I think networks is very thematic.
That's your first choice?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So networks it doesn't have a whole lot of components, but the gameplay is really thematic.
Yeah.
You have to. So the whole point is you're trying to increase viewership. You're trying to get ratings.
You're the owner of a TV station.
Right. So we know that that's what TV shows are after. They're after ratings. And so you do a bunch of things to try to increase your ratings. You make sure your shows are in the right time slots.
Yep.
You get celebrity endorsements.
Yep.
You get ads so that you can generate income, and that's of course what happens in actual TV show. I mean TV station. So
Yeah.
it's just so many. The gameplay imitates what you would have to do if you were running a real TV station.
I think networks is a good. I didn't even think of that one.
Yes.
Okay, so you got the networks.
Yeah.
All right. So the next game I want to talk about is a game that I recently got from Kickstarter. She's not going to play it because of the theme. And the theme is
Pirates.
pirates. We're pirates on the sea.
Pirates are sea jackers.
Well, okay. Shiver Me. The game is called Shiver Me Timbers. And I played this game a couple of times, learning it. Then I played it with my game group. And I love this game. It is very thematic. You got your little ship, your little plastic ship sailing the seven seas, and your ship is just a schooner or a sloop or whatever. But later on, you get to upgrade it to a galleon, and you're trying to, take out other ships and do missions for the governor, hunt for treasure, and there's life goals, and you might have to come up against the Kraken. That game is very immersive, and I love pirates. Sorry. I do my pirates. I got my pirates. So that game I love. So what's your next one?
Suburbia.
I knew you was gonna like Suburbia.
Yes, Suburbia is very thematic. You have to really pay attention to where you put the different type of developments.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to build a movie theater, you're going to get a higher population if you build it in a residential or commercial area versus in an industrial area.
Yeah.
That's real life.
Yeah, because nobody want to go to the industrial area to go to the movies.
Exactly.
They want to go to the movie theater right around the corner, the nice neighborhood movie theater. Suburbia is a good choice.
It is. If you build a park, you lose revenue. If a factory comes to town, it increases revenue, but it may chase away some residents.
You can't build the airport near residential areas because people not happy with that.
Yes.
That decreases your reputation.
Yes.
If you build your first restaurant, that restaurant gonna be making some show.
But every restaurant after that
decreases the show from the first restaurant.
From all of them.
Yeah, everything starts going down. So it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
So I agree with Suburbia.
Yes.
So my next one is a game that I think you would really love the theme, but it's a little on the heavier side. Really, I do. I think you would really love the theme though. And that game is called Predaporte. So in Predaporte, you are a fashion, is it mogul? Is that the right word?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I got one right. You're a fashion mogul and you're trying to create your fashion empire. But in order to do that, you got to build your buildings. You got to hire fashion designers. You got to hire marketing experts. You got to get designs and then get the material to make the designs. And it's just, you spending money. All this stuff costs money. So sometimes you might have to go get a credit card in order to do the, to pay everybody and go into debt. But then try to work your way out of debt. And everything makes sense. That's what happens when you own a business. You gotta try to make your business make some money.
Yeah.
So yeah, Predaporte, I think you would love that game. So what's your next one?
Okay, so I said Suburbia and Networks. Um,
You don't remember? You're supposed to write this stuff down.
Suburbia Networks. Oh, Viticulture.
Oh boy, you're so sad. You're so
Viticulture.
sad.
Oh, you know what? Anyway,
You wrote this stuff down. Why didn't you bring the list with you?
I can't read it anyway.
Oh wow, no, you didn't. So
Viticulture.
anyway,
Viticulture. So everything about viticulture is thematic to me. Um, the artwork is gorgeous,
yeah, it is gorgeous.
and it really evokes um, a vineyard. It's just beautiful. The colors, so it's gorgeous. Even the little, so the rooster, because you
Right.
know you on a farm and it wakes you up, and then your little corks that represent your point markers. So even the little meeples in the game make you think of wine making. But what I really love about viticulture is you go through every aspect of the wine growing making process. You have to grow your grapes. You have
First,
to
you got to plant the field.
you gotta plant the field. You gotta harvest the field.
Yeah,
You gotta produce the wine. You gotta sell the wine.
yeah.
You can give tours. It's just very thematic. It's very immersive, and as my husband said, the things that you do make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense because you plant the stuff in the spring. Now you gotta wait until the fall to get grapes. You know, so I like that. And then you gotta put them in your what they call it, your you gotta put the grapes away and then
In your wine cellar.
yeah, your cellar. That's the word. You know. So yeah, I agree with viticulture. I like viticulture. It is a beautiful game.
It's a beautiful game, and it is highly thematic.
Yep. So I got one more. This one you haven't played, but I played and I love it. It's like one of the heaviest games I played, and that game is called Combine EV.
Okay.
It's by Vita Lacerda,
Okay.
and in Combine you work in a car factory,
Okay.
and you are building cars, but you need the designs for the cars, and then when you get the designs, you got to go get the material for the cars, and then you got to get the cars made, and then get the cars once they're made, they roll out, then you got to go show the cars. The most thematic thing about this game is the fact that there is a supervisor that goes through the factory. Her name is Sandra, and you can actually play with like nice Sandra, like, oh, okay, you're good. Or you could play with mean Sandra, who's like, what are you doing over there? Hey, what? You only got 15 minutes on your coffee break, and she's like making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. And the cool thing about it is you actually have to have meetings in this game. There's a time where Sandra goes to her desk and now you got to go to tell her, like, okay, this is what I did. I did this. I did this. I did this. I'm earning my keep. Combine EV is a great game. All right. So, do you have another one?
All right. So, I think Lost Ruins of Arnak is a thematic game.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is.
So this isn't the most thematic aspect of it, but honestly, just some of the components are thematic.
Right.
Like the little meeple with the little like
Indiana Jones hat.
yes. And you have a compass, you have the tablet, like that you write on
The notebook. Are you talking about the tablet, the hieroglyphic
Yes,
tablet
yes.
that you find? Like,
Yes.
oh, I got this hieroglyphic. What does it do for me?
yes, yes. So I mean, even just the components are really they lend themselves to the theme. So that just that right there off the bat kind of gets you in that frame of mind.
Yeah. Well, see, what I like about it is like at the beginning of the game, you can only get items, but there are like artifacts, but you might find one that's on the beach or something. But
Yeah.
as you get further into the game,
yes.
now artifacts become more available.
Well, you've explored the island a little more,
Right.
And you're a little bit more familiar.
Yeah, and you can't get the items because there's no Home Depot here either. So you can't go back like, oh man, they got a sale. Let me go get some batteries. No, you done got onto the island. So now you done found this sunstone and you hoping you can figure out how it works, and you need a tablet to get it to work.
Exactly.
And that going up that temple track.
That is really thematic because you have the notebook and the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
And so as you're looking at stuff and exploring, you're taking notes. And so you need both. Like your magnifying glass can go ahead of your notebook, but your notebook can't go because you're not taking notes.
Right. You ain't
before.
learned nothing yet. You know.
So
Yeah, you ain't learned nothing yet. So
Yeah.
Lost You in Art. I'm glad you enjoyed that game.
yes.
Yeah. So, like, how many was that we talked about? 8?
I think.
8. Okay. Well, we don't want to keep the guys too much longer. I think we have made a point of what we think, what makes a game thematic. You know. So those are our favorite thematic games.
Some of our favorites.
Some of our favorites. We got some more. But anyway, if you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and let us know in the comments, what are your favorite thematic games? What games pull you into the theme? You know, I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia,
We are Blackboard Gaming.
and we will see you next time.